Previously on the Moorpark Reporter Sportcast.
Max, how much shampoo do you go through, like in a month?
A lot.
Like a full bottle in a month? 2 bottles? What are we looking at?
And with that, we are back from our break. Unfortunately, Joe did not get the chance to finish his thought, but it was a lightning round. Danny said real quick, and we meant real quick. Now, moving in, we've got our wonderful crew here again. Danny relegated from his hosting position because, unfortunately, too popular, you know? If we can't monetize this podcast, what's the point of bringing in all those numbers? So we got Danny Spanovich, sports desk editor. We've got Maxwell Clark, staff writer extraordinaire. Mitchell Ross and Kennedy Collier, the dynamic duo, the people who bring the content to this show. So hope you all had fun that first half because we're continuing into a lightning round. But this time it is not going to be Joe Curley answering all this. It's going to be y'all. And we're moving on to the NFL Wildcards. So we're going to go through this first. Danny, Max, Mitchell, Kennedy, Bucks versus Washington. Who's going to win it?
I'm going Bucks over Washington, 21-10. Tampa Bay, their defensive line is just going to get at Alex Smith, who can't move. I know the Washington has a good defensive line as well, but the Bucks offense is just too much for Washington. 21-10, Tampa Bay.
Book it.
Yeah, I think the Bucks as well. I think it's going to be 27-17. But that Washington defense is number 4 ranked in the NFL, so you never know. Anything can happen.
I also like the Bucks. Shocker, right? I'm going to take them 24-9. I think there'll be a weird safety in the game.
We're going to be really boring, and we're all going to take the Bucks, me included. I actually have the Bucks as my dark horse making it to the NFC Championship against. I'm very ignorant right now. I don't know if they would be against Green Bay, but I think they will make it to the NFC Championship.
All right, fantastic. Lightning round 1 done. And it looks like there's a common agreement. When you've got a cheater as your quarterback, you're going to win games. Moving on, wild card number 2, Colts versus Bills. Danny. Lightning round.
Colts versus Bills. This is Bills, baby. The Colts have nothing. Phillip Rivers is lucky to be in the playoffs. Josh Allen, I disagree with our colleague, Joe Curley. I think Josh Allen is a really good quarterback. I don't think he's hit his ceiling. Hopefully we don't see what we saw in Lamar last, couple seasons. But it's the Bills all the way.
Yeah, I agree. If they stick to the game plan that they have had for this whole season, the Bills should win handily. I think this is just the beginning of Josh Allen.
I think it's going to be actually a really close game. I think the Colts defense is really good, but I'm taking the Bills as well. I have it in a 27-24 game.
I'm going 27-20 Indianapolis Colts. I'm with Kennedy finally bashing Phillip Rivers. I'm on his side. Colts defense, after a hot start, last 5 weeks, giving up 308 passing yards per game. Bills Mafia going to eat this one up.
Also, don't forget, but Kenny Stills is now a Buffalo Bill, so that's going to elevate their game too.
All right, fantastic. Round number 2 done. Round number 3 is up. Ravens, Titans. Max, Mitch, Kennedy, Danny, let's hear it.
This one is one of the really hard ones because it's another matchup from last year's playoffs, and I'm going to go Baltimore, though I do think Derrick Henry will have another crazy game. I have Baltimore 35-30.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great rematch from last year. On paper, Tennessee better defense, Tannehill the better passer, overall more weapons, Derrick Henry, all hail the king. I'm going Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think he gets the monkey off his back. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a messy game, but Lamar Jackson is too much of an X factor to ignore. When he's on your team, I think you have a good shot at winning.
I'm going to go opposite. I'm going to say this is the Titans' year to make an impressive playoff run. I think they'll beat the Ravens. I think Derrick Henry's having a fantastic season. He's going to be 4th in MVP voting. So, and Tannehill was a nobody quarterback in Miami. You never really knew if he was the go-to guy, but he kind of seems like one in Tennessee. So it'll be an interesting game.
I got to go Lamar Jackson revenge game, but this one's going to be a blowout. The Tennessee defense giving up 400 yards a game, 35-21. I'm going Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry off 34 carries. I don't know if we'll see the same explosive Henry end of the season. Could he be tired? We'll find out.
So that was Ravens versus Titans. Now we got another one. Bears versus Saints.
I mean, the Bears are off and on. I don't even know if they're a winning team or a losing team. I guess that's why they finished 8-8. Are we really messing around with this one? Saints are going to win.
Yeah, this one isn't really exciting. The Saints. I mean, if you're picking the Bears, I want to buy the weed you're smoking.
If it was 2 weeks ago, this would have been a toss-up to me because of how well that Bears defense was playing. But I'm going the Saints as well.
Max, like you said, their defense has just not been playing well, but their offense has picked it up. So I think it'll be closer than we think. I'm going 32-23. I don't know if that's even that close, but I'm going with the Saints as well.
All right, you electric personalities, let's finish up the last wild card on our menu. Browns versus Steelers. Let's go.
I'm going to pick the upset. If it is even an upset, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. Why not? Why not? Why not the Browns? Why not this year? They made it to the playoffs first time since 2002. The Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger, it seems like he's fallen off a cliff in terms of performance. This could be the Browns winning it against the Steelers.
If you look at both rosters, it says the Steelers are going to win this, Kennedy. I agree, but I'm going to go with the Browns as well. You don't know which Big Ben you're going to get. At least with Cleveland, they're going to be consistent. I got to go with the Browns as well. 24-20 Cleveland.
I think that's a crazy take, Danny, just because Cleveland, I feel like Baker Mayfield's one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the league, but I think I'm going to take Steelers. Olivier Vernon actually got injured today and won't be available for the playoffs. But you never know. Believeland can still win.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, Pittsburgh, again, they should win. They win the QB matchup. They win the receiving core. They got probably one of the top 2 defenses in the league. And yet here I am looking at Kareem Hunt and Chubb and thinking that they're just going to run right through that Pittsburgh defense. I think it's Believeland time. And I just want to hear someone say at some point in the near future, Baker took the Browns to the Super Bowl.
All right, and I just want to say, y'all were so powerful in that lightning round, I decided to give you a bonus. We are going to hear one last take from each of you, and I want to hear Seahawks-Rams.
Yeah, if Goff is playing, I think the Rams have a chance, and if he doesn't turn over the ball, but considering those two are questionable if either of them will happen, I'm still going to take the Rams because why not? Why not?
The Rams have a chance for it not to be a blowout because Seattle defense is so bad, but the offense of the Rams is so bad. So they'll kind of stay in the game, but no, this is going to be Seattle 100%. No. Get the Rams out of here. Tired of your LA bias, Mitchell.
If Jared Goff plays, I got to go with the Rams as well. Low scoring game, 20-17. Seattle defense has been playing much better the last 5 weeks, only giving up 200 passing yards per game. So it's going to be low scoring. Goff's going to have to come through.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a battle of who can play the better offense. Seattle just looked really inconsistent, but I'm going to stick with Seattle because the Rams offense and just the Rams. I like betting against the Rams. It's always fun. But yeah, I'm going Seattle. Low scoring game. Danny's right with that one.
There's something about hating LA teams, Max, that just feels really, really good.
It's the best thing ever.
All right, well, I just want to say those were some amazing takes, but in that last round, Mitch's take hinged on whether the starting quarterback of a team could even do his job if he could even play. So, Danny, distract me from the nonsensical nature of that take by telling me your Super Bowl matchup picks. I want to know who's going to be in this so I can just skip over the playoffs, go right to the Super Bowl when I get to eat queso dip from a bowl sitting on my belly.
I got you, Dom. Out of the AFC, I really want to pick the Bills, Dom. I'm sorry, but I got to go with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, he's going to come up big. I know it's a basic pick. He's going to come up big when he has to. They have a solid defense this year. In the NFC, I'm going with my boy Joe Curley my midseason pick, I wanted to hop off Tampa Bay, but I got to go with the Tampa Bay Bucks coming out of the NFC. It should be a fun matchup. Brady, Mahomes, book it.
I'm with you, Danny, on the great matchup of quarterbacks. I just think it's going to be a different NFC South team, and I think it's going to be the New Orleans Saints versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw what a great game that game was earlier in the season. Very close, very competitive. I think what everybody needs in the world right now is some great competitive football, and if we can see the heir apparent to the best quarterback in the NFL going up against one of the greatest quarterbacks ever playing, Drew Brees, I think it'll be great, and it could be a close game. I don't think it's very cut and dry that Kansas City's going to win.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the hardest playoffs to predict. I so badly want to go with the Bills, but I'm gonna still stick with the Chiefs. It's just their team is just so they're so good. It's unfair. But coming out of the NFC, I have the Packers just because I bet against them last week or when they played against the Titans, and I was really, really wrong about that. So I've learned my lesson with Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to be really boring like Max too and pick the Packers and Chiefs, except I'm going to pick the Packers to defeat the Chiefs and Aaron Rodgers get his second Super Bowl victory. And that'll pretty much cement him as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. I think he still needs that second Super Bowl win to be considered one of the best. So, yeah.
All right, fantastic. And I know you guys all took the Chiefs, but I'll tell you this, the Bills Mafia will continue to sacrifice plastic tables in the name of the almighty Jim Kelly so that Jim Allen may carry that torch.
Look, Dom, it's not that we don't like the Chiefs because I would love to pick them.
Oh, no, I think the Bills will disappoint me too.
If any team has a chance at beating the Chiefs at all, I think the Bills are right up there.
Nah.
I take no pleasure. I'm a Denver Broncos fan. I hate seeing the Kansas City Chiefs be good for the next 20 years. It's going to kill me.
No, don't get me wrong. I think the Chiefs are going to win too. You forget, I grew up through the era of the Patriots winning everything when the Bills would always start good and let me down in the end. So I'm expecting this is just the ultimate long play when they are going to let me down once again. But moving on, distract me from this depressing prediction of futures yet to come by telling me about your OSU Alabama predictions.
I haven't followed too much with the college football scene this year, but I think it's going to be Alabama. I think Alabama is just a better team. I do like Ohio State's quarterback, but I think the player to watch in this game isn't either of the quarterbacks. I actually think it's wide receiver Devontae Smith for Alabama, who is a Heisman Trophy finalist as a wide receiver, and he's going up against Sean Wade on Ohio. So it's going to be a really interesting game. Hopefully, it's going to be actually fun to watch and not a blowout like the past two games have been. But yeah, I'm going to take Bama in this one.
I'm also going to go Bama. I really hate that Ohio State is in this championship game because before they played against Clemson, I thought that a 6-0 team should have had no right to be in the playoffs. The committee obviously was right because they dominated Clemson. This was the most impressive I've ever seen Ohio State. But Alabama's number one. They have the biggest guys, the strongest guys, the fastest guys, and they have a pretty decent quarterback. So it's going to be tough.
Look, I always like to bet against Bama because they're the best and nobody likes to root for the best. I also can't see myself rooting for Ohio State because they only played 6 games. They had their conference change the rules to allow them to get to the conference championship, but they just demolished Clemson and Trevor Lawrence and that great Tigers team. I got to ride the hot hand of Ohio State. I like Justin Fields. Kid shows true grit, just really getting pummeled out there. But he came back. He had a great game. I think he had as many touchdowns, 6, as he did incompletions, so I think it'll be a great game. Go Buckeyes.
With 3 Heisman finalists or candidates, Mac Jones, Najee Harris, I don't know how to say his name, Najee Harris, Devontae Smith, I just have to go Alabama. I think it'll be a shootout, though. This Alabama defense is vulnerable, And like Mitch said, Justin Fields is hot right now. I feel like it's gonna be high scoring, close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Fields comes through at the end with a go ahead field goal even.
But how good was it when Ohio State finally beat Dabo Swinney? He went just swinging for the fences, calling them the 11th best team in college football, and it wasn't even close. Like, you love to see someone who's so cocky and so strident in their prediction and just get the floor wiped with them.
Well, the only thing that's going to be hotter than Justin Fields in that game is your guys' takes. And now we are going to highlight the take of one of our own homegrown talents. We've got Mitchell Ross presenting The Pitch with Mitch. Let's hear it. Take it away, Mitchell.
Listen up, all you fake baseball fans, you Padre lovers, you over-arrogant POSs. You think that you're better than the Dodgers? Well, let me tell you, you're not. You're still the 4th best team in the National League. Now, let me explain why. The Nationals traded for Josh Bell, which makes their offense just incredible, going in hand with Steven Strasburg, Max Scherzer, and Patrick Corbin, possibly a top 3 rotation in all of baseball. The Atlanta Braves signed Charlie Morton to a great deal, solidifying their rotation as a top 5 in all of baseball, in combination with Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Travis d'Arnaud, an incredible offense, and a really good bullpen. Yes, the Padres traded for Blake Snell. Woohoo. He couldn't even beat the Dodgers and got pulled early. He can't even go more than 6 innings. That's why he got pulled from the game. However, Tampa Bay did get back Luis Patino, the number 23 prospect in all of baseball. So, they did all right, but they really got fleeced. The Chicago Cubs. They traded away Yu Darvish, and they got next to nothing back for him. He's a top 10 pitcher in all of baseball, and yet they got nothing back for him, which makes me wonder, what's the market going to be for other big-name pitchers? Let me read the comments in the chat. Pick Houston if you want to get yelled at. Well, Maxwell Clark from Houston, I will not be picking the Astros. Let me tell you why. They're losing out on 2 key free agents. Michael Brantley, their left fielder, he's not coming back. They're not going to sign him to a long-term deal because he's really old, though he can still hit. He can help out some other lower market team or a competing team if they can get him on the right small contract. They're also not going to re-sign George Springer. Springer Dinger in Houston, it's just not going to happen anymore. After the cheating scandal, Houston's George Springer said he wasn't a big fan of what happened. He was not one to use the system, and he often spoke up about it in the dugout. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. What I can say is George Springer is an MVP caliber player, and I think he would succeed outside of Houston. I think it's likely he'll get signed by the New York Mets.
Mitch, good God, man. Max is already dead. Just leave him be.
Become a Brewers fan. Become a Brewers fan. I would. They have great uniforms. However, Christian Yelich isn't doing that great. The Brewers have never invested in the starting pitching, and the team is just a sham of what they could have been. In 2018, they were really great, and if they improved on that by getting a high-end starter, they could be competing. What else? Okay. Now, my big thing is about the Dodgers. What are they going to do with Justin Turner? He's 36 years old. He's played 7 seasons with the team, and he's been one of the mainstays in their postseason run in the last several years. During his time in LA in the playoffs, he sets the Dodger record for most games played, hits, home runs, and RBIs. The guy is a big part of why we've won the World Series this year and why the Dodgers made it 3 out of the last 4 years. Do they re-sign a 36-year-old player whose physical ability is diminishing? It's a great question. Reports are saying that he wants a 4 to 5 year deal. Kennedy, if you're a GM of a baseball team, you're signing a 36-year-old corner infielder with diminishing physical ability.
I don't know. I would never sign anyone over like 33, 34. So, no, I don't care how good he is.
Exactly. And I'm glad you're wearing that Colorado Rockies jersey because let me tell you who's going to replace him. Nolan Arenado will be traded to the Dodgers. Andrew Friedman has to one-up the Padres and make a splash this offseason. I think the Dodgers are going to trade for Arenado, and they're still going to be the best team in baseball.
Who are they giving up, though?
Dodgers have a lot of prospects they can give up. I wouldn't mind letting Keeper Ruiz go. He's a catcher. Rockies have never had really good catching, but they do need pitching up there. I could see them giving away Mitch White, maybe Dustin May. Like, if you're going to get Arenado, you got to give up some big pieces. So I can see them getting rid of Dustin May. I wouldn't even be offended if they got rid of Gavin Lux. I don't think he's going to be that great. I don't think he's going to pan out. And I think that the Dodgers have other opportunities to get better outside of Lux. So, anyways, thank you for listening to The Pitch with Mitch. Stay tuned.
Hey, Mitch, to cut you off real quick, I know Bauer hasn't signed. Where do you think he's going?
So here's the tough thing. Trevor Bauer, he's done an amazing job engaging with his fans. What he does on YouTube and Twitter is incredible. He reached out on Twitter and said, hey, I'm going to FaceTime you. You got to sign up. You got to win this thing. I'm going to FaceTime one person, one fan from all 30 teams or all the teams he's interested in. And you as a fan have to give me your pitch on to why I should sign with your team. I applied to do this. I didn't win, but I applied as an Angels fan because I really want Trevor Bauer to go to Anaheim. I would love to see him in Dodger Blue. He looks really good in MLB The Show, but I want to see him team up with Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon and really make something happen in Anaheim. It's a shame that the best player in baseball, quite possibly could be the greatest player to ever play baseball, has so low visibility to fans nationwide. The Angels
Mitchell, you're trying to play like this like Game of Thrones, like master of secrets and spiders, and like dress up as an Angels fan and try to get Bauer to Anaheim.
Look, whatever really it takes, hashtag Bauer to Anaheim. Artie Moreno has a buttload of money. He can throw it at anybody. If he threw it at Pujols, he can throw it at Bauer, and I think he'd be a great fit. Otherwise, I think he'll sign with the Dodgers because we can pay him a lot of money.
All right, and with that, I think I'm going to call it right there. So we had some amazing takes, and I just want to say that all those comments in the chat were me saying I need to pick a baseball team. And in the end, I decided on the Giants because they got a cool stadium. I do have a soft spot for the Astros, though, because a couple years ago, just their games were always on when I needed something.
You could choose a better backup. You could choose a better backup.
H-Town forever, baby.
Hey, I want you guys to look at this black screen and imagine my actual face here and just know all of the better choices I could have made in my life, and I'm not going to start making better ones here. And with that, that is all the time we have for today. Let's take ourselves out. Tell us your names, what you do at our institution, and where they can find you on social media.
Danny Stepanovich at D Stepanovich, sports sex editor at themoorparkreporter.com. Tune in.
Max Clark at _Max Clark on Twitter and Instagram. I am a sports writer for Moorpark Reporter.
Hi, my name is Mitch Ross. I'm a sports writer for the Moorpark Reporter and a resident Astro hater. They cheated and they got away with it. You can find me at Mitch Ross Report everywhere social media is accepted, bashing the Astros until the end of time.
You can find me at Kennedy C. Collier on Twitter. That's the only social media I'm ever on. And I'm a writer?
Yeah, you are, baby. And Mitch, what if they had an asterisk? Will you let them go then? Or will you let them go once all the members who actually cheated are gone?
Dom, I don't think we have enough time for me to get into this. Suffice to say, thank you for joining us this week, and we'll do better next week.
Don't you make promises for me. Bye.